Hello and welcome to another video for the Startup Screen Printing channel. My name is Jesse, and I wanted to do a little bit of an introduction video to let you guys know what this channel is about, what my hopes are for this channel, my reasons for starting it, etc. A little bit about myself, what my experience is with screen printing. So without further ado, let me jump into it. So as you can see, I have my own screen print company. I run it out of my basement. And I've been doing this out of my basement since the fall of 2017. Been doing water-based ink since the beginning. I started out in screen printing actually back in 2012, I believe it was. Working, I was hired as a graphic designer to run the design portion and even the production side of a screen print company that my friends had purchased. So I ran that those two portions of that company, and actually the last 6 months that I worked there, I ran all the day-to-day operations for that company. Let's stop working for there whenever I moved to Colorado from Tennessee. Started off in Tennessee, which is where I'm from. Live in Colorado now, and like I said, started my own print company. I knew I wanted to stay in the industry. I enjoyed being in screen printing so much, so that's what I've done. My screen print company is called Alpine Apparel Company. As you see more and more videos of me, you'll see me wearing the apparel, and that's pretty much all I wear. Not just because it's got my logo on it. I mean, you guys get this. It's because when you find something super nice and comfortable, it's hard to wear or buy anything else from anybody else. So I just don't do that. So this is what I wear. So again, when I started working at screen print company, back in the day, it was a typical, run of the mill screen print company. It was, Plastisol ink, doing a lot of school and church and, team apparel, that type of thing. Your kind of standard stuff. But it was great. I mean, that's where I learned a lot. I learned how to do, I've been a graphic designer all my life. So I learned a different side of graphic design. I learned the separations and, what halftones really were and how to utilize those in print and how to prepare artwork for screen printing, which was totally different for me. I was used to doing, digital artwork for mostly web design, advertising and stuff. So with a lot of print stuff in there as well, but paper printing is totally different than garment printing and textile stuff. So learned a ton there, but one of the key things that I learned there that I've brought into my own screen print company is the fact that I don't like Plastisol. I had my own brand that I used the company to print my apparel. I had a hammock company. And I just didn't like that I was getting this really nice tri-blend shirt and kind of throwing this crappy Plastisol ink on it. And sure, you can get some really nice soft prints with Plastisol. I know that now. I didn't know that then, and that company wasn't really concerned with that. I mean, that's not really something that the run-of-the-mill print company is going to be concerned with. They just get the graphic on the shirt, push it out the door. It's fine. So, that experience and understanding that there was something different available, that water-based ink was an option. And even with all the additional variables and problems that come with water-based printing, I knew I wanted to do that. And, even consulting with another major print house out here, the guy who started that company just warned me. He's like, you're going to run into a lot of issues with water-based ink. And I recommend that you start with Plastisol because it's going to be a lot more forgiving, easier for you to learn the process, but I just didn't want to do that. So that brings me to this. So I have my own company here. I've been printing water-based ink from the beginning. I follow the screen print industry online. I have for many years, and I just haven't spoken up, for various fearful reasons. But in my day job now, I'm a consultant. I'm a consultant in marketing automation, and I work with some, very, very large Forbes 100, 500, whatever corporations, helping them manage their marketing automation and their marketing technology stack. So I've learned in that job that I love to teach. And that's really been my biggest takeaway from that job is that, sure, I know a lot about the technology stuff and the small business stuff because I have my own business and I have for many, many years, not just screen printing. But I know the digital side and the computer stuff and the web design and all that other stuff. But aside from knowing all of that, and having my own experiences, I just love to teach. And I've wanted to start a podcast and a video channel for many, many years. Never really knew what I wanted to do about. But now I know. My reason for doing this is just simply, I love to teach, and I want an outlet to be able to stretch my teaching muscles and help myself become a better teacher, a more effective teacher. And I thought, no better industry to do that in than one like the screen print industry. Who, we have so many other video producers and content creators in the screen print industry that are creating some amazing stuff. And the screen print industry itself is just an industry full of people willing to help each other out, and I think that is just fantastic. And I simply want to join in on all that fun, So what I want to talk about with these videos, mostly it's going to be design, computer stuff, marketing automation, business related topics, about running a business, the tax side, the financial side, the decision making, the, organizational structure, your mock-ups and your proofs that you send to customers and your emails and all of that stuff, what application you use for business management and bookkeeping, et cetera. I want to talk about all of that stuff because I feel like there's some space for that. There's some conversations going on around that, and I think that's great. And so I just want to join in and provide my own take and my own experience on that, whether it's right for you or not. It's been right for me. So I'm not going to come to this with these videos with any sort of, preconceived notion that I have all the answers or that I'm some expert in any of this. That's not my intention. That's not my goal. It's not my reason for doing it. I don't want to be the guy that comes out with all the answers and the guy that you come to for all the answers. I just want to be the guy that you come to hear his experience and maybe apply that to your own situation, and maybe that will help you out. And so that's my goal. I obviously will talk about the print process and how I've decided to go through different scenarios, just simply because I do water-based ink only. Not a lot of the other shops seem to be doing that. Just kind of dabbling in it, but I think there's some fear surrounding it that I don't think is necessary. I think, it doesn't have to be as fearful, and anybody, I believe anybody in any situation can print with water-based ink if you take the right precautions and you have, some very specific items. I started out with very little, and just the little hobby kit that you get from Ryanette. It was like $150, I think, or something like that. I've got it sitting on a shelf right here in front of me. And, so I started with that and a little inkjet printer and got it done. No exposure unit, just a halogen lamp, work lamp, and made it work. So you don't have to have all the fancy stuff and tens of thousands of dollars of equipment. I still don't have a conveyor dryer. I'm still printing with a flash. Been doing that since 2017, and it has worked great. I've printed, orders. My minimum's 12, but I've printed obviously from 12 all the way up to 400. So over 400, between 400 and 500, something there was one of my biggest orders. So I've made it work with just a flash dryer, and it works just fine for me. So I want to talk about just what I've learned, the little tips here and there of different things that I've learned with printing water-based ink. So yeah, that's my goal with this video. With this channel, I'm going to do a podcast and the videos. Obviously we'll post the video version of the podcast. They will all be video, not just audio. And then just additional videos to talk through some very specific questions that I've been asked, or maybe some tips that I can think of that I know, hey, this really has helped me out with printing water-based ink. This is what helps me kind of run my business. And so I'll bring all of that to you guys. But in the meantime, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know, what questions you might have surrounding anything, running a small business, starting a small business, the financial and tax side of things. I'm not a tax accountant or lawyer. I would recommend professional consultancy there. But I can give you advice about how I go about running my business. Or maybe you have questions about water-based ink, printing at home, using a flash dryer, whatever it is. Not having a dark room. I don't have a dark room. Works fine for me. I have not had any need for a dark room. I have, LED lights in here that don't affect my emulsion. I have my screens on a rack over here. They're covered by a sheet just for dust's sake, but the sheet is by no means light safe and light's leaking in around the sides. It's really just covering the tops to kind of minimize the amount of dust that's getting in there. And it's worked great. I mean, I haven't had any issues. I do have window tint on the windows here in the basement. So I've put some, it was like 98 or 99% UV blocking window film on these windows, and that helped out a ton. But again, really want to hear from you. Just find me on Instagram or email me, Jesse at startupscreenprinting.com. Instagram, follow my Instagram account, which is Alpine Apparel Co. or at Alpine Apparel Co. It's my Instagram, or at Startup Screen Printing. Both of those I'm going to be using a lot. The Alpine Apparel obviously would be more customer focused videos and images and things that apply to my customers and are interesting to them. Kind of the behind the scenes business stuff is going to be more on the at Startup Screen Printing Instagram account. But I want to hear from you. Comments below, whatever it is. Let's hear your questions. And if I can't answer it, maybe I can just help pose the question to the industry or help you find the answer. Again, I'm not here as an expert. I'm just here as someone with some experience who loves to teach. And so if I can use my experience to help you advance your screen print company, honestly, if I could do that full time and not even have a print company, I would do it. I love teaching. And I love sharing my experiences and helping you guys create phenomenal businesses. So, guys and gals. And so that's my goal in this. So would love to hear from you. Let me know what you think about that first video I did on my proof setup. If you have any questions on that, would love to hear those as well. But look forward to bringing you more videos very, very soon.